Good morning or good afternoon.
Hi.
Good to see you. Haven't heard back, but it looks like we've got a couple of people out. But this should be a short meeting, depending on how much information you guys need.
Okay.
Hey, Judith. Mary.
Hey there.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
I don't think I've met you yet, have I?
No, it's the first time I'm plugging in.
Okay, welcome. Yeah. Okay, so and a couple things that we're looking at, just tweaking the notes audit process. And Mary, I don't know, I think Tony had a one-on-one with you about that. Am I right about that?
If we did, I don't remember.
Okay, all right. Well, then maybe you and I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I've got some videos that I put together in PowerPoints, but yeah, we can walk through that together. And then the other thing is setting up the students in time tracker for the term. So that'll be new to you too, Mary. I guess what I'll do is I will just go ahead and go over the basics. I think those, John and Judith, you guys are getting to be pros at this now. But one change that'll work in your favor. Oh, here comes Mike. One thing that'll work in your favor as far as time management is Tony has said that rather than you guys filling out the form together, you can ask the student to fill out the notes audit. So you would send that to them, have them complete it, and then the two of you guys go over it together in your supervision. So once a month, you'll do that with your students, and the more you do it, the shorter those will be. But that's up to your discretion as to how you do that, because I know that the way that we were doing it, if you're doing it with your student, it kind of allows you to choose rather than let them cherry pick. But you do want to make sure that they're up to date and signing their notes and all of that. So anyway, that's one of the bigger changes, and that should save you some time. And if you still want to do a random check, you can certainly do that. Just the student shares their screen with you in Theranest, and then you'll say, oh, let's look at this one. So that's up to you. And a lot of you guys have students that are just really good at keeping up their notes. And then, you're going to have some other students that, are folks that aren't as tech savvy that may need some extra help. So just kind of be aware of that. The other thing is setting up the time tracker. And I thought I would just go ahead and do that with you guys, do one of mine to just show you the process. So let me get that ready to roll here. And also I'm recording this. If you want the link to that, I'll go ahead and send that out to you guys and to everybody so that they can review it. So let's see, time tracker. Mine will probably look different from yours because I'm an admin, but let me just share my screen. And let me know. All right, does everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay, and you probably won't have this extensive list, but notice here, make sure that you've got G4 showing in this Fitler filter. I'm kind of OCD about spelling, and it should just be you. But if there's more than one, just make sure you choose your own name. And I'll do this for, I've got group supervision. You're going to do individual. I don't think you're going to have the group, but if you do, make sure that you go with individual. And your previous groups are going to show up. So you may want to just make sure that you're double checking there when you go back in to sign your timesheets. So in this case, I have, I've already created mine, 4G4. And these are my supervisees, but say I were doing, say I had another student. So I would create new group and you can name it whatever you like. I'll just call this individual supervision test. You should pop up there, but if not, make sure you've got your name selected. Group type. This is for those who do individual and group supervision. Just make sure you've chosen individual supervision. And then timesheet configuration, they have both of those as well. So I don't think you'll see your previous groups, but you may. So just make sure that you're choosing individual supervision timesheet. And there you go. So then you just add students one by one. I'm going to add an old student just so that nobody gets alarmed with, hey, I thought I was already signed up. So under select student, you can start typing the student's name. Let me see, I'm going to go with Lindsay Thornton. She's already graduated. So I'm just going to go Lindsay here. And then you can add an additional student. You add as many students as you need to. And once you've done that, then create group. And there we go. Supervision group successfully created. Once you've entered that, the student will then get an email notifying them that they've got the timesheets are ready for them to start filling out. So that's it in a nutshell. Any questions on that? Pretty straightforward. Okay, and I'm just going to jump back in and go to look at the notes audit. And you know, if you have the time, Mary, maybe we can hang on a little bit afterwards so that I can kind of walk you through that. Plus, I've got the video and some PowerPoints that you can use. So I'll make sure and get those to you. Okay. All right. So now we're going into notes, and that'll be on the Google Drive. You should, and you can save the sheet to your desktop and do it manually if you like. I think Mike's been doing it that way, and it's fine. And by the way, Tony has decided that you don't need to forward those to me. Just make sure that you've done it and give me a heads up on anything that might need attention beyond your supervision. So that makes it a little bit easier too. All right, so share my screen again. All right, and so what you're going to look for is you should have the supervision notes template. Let me reduce this a little bit so we can get a look at more of it at one time. Okay. So now what we're doing is you'll share this with the student and have them complete it. Unless you want to do it with the student, that's up to you. This would just be a nice time saver. Here we put in the particular case, you fill out, this is pretty straightforward. Make sure when you do this, though, this is where I still, it's the template, and what you want to do is to save, not fill it out on this form, but save this to your own Google Drive or just do a spreadsheet on your desktop. So for me, I'm going to go with a new document. I'm going to copy this. This was really hard for me to get used to, is that it saves it automatically. And so that's how we have folks filling out the template instead of a new document. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to open a new one. And there it is. So now it's no longer the template, and I can title it up here, Thornley, January 2022, just whatever you need to help you're referencing that. It asks for client initials. So you can do that, but include the case number and make sure they know where to find that. This way it narrows it down. If we do need to go back through something, we know which case it was, then the session date, so we know which date what notes we're looking at. There's a client ID, so that if there are two, John Smiths and Joan Stansberry, we'll know by the client ID, oh, this is the client we're looking at. Location, so we put telehealth versus in person, and make sure that that's showing in the client record. The rest of the stuff you guys should be pretty familiar with. Mary, if you'll hang on, I'll go through this step by step with you. We can actually look at a student record, but we're making sure that they've got the completed information under the client details, particularly emergency contacts, date of birth. Then you go and look at the progress notes, make sure they have completed an initial assessment and diagnosis. If it's if say the student has one client only, and you've already gone over the notes, well, they've already done an initial assessment, diagnosis, and treatment plan right at the beginning. The cross-cutting measures are done at the beginning. The Columbia screener is done with each client at the beginning, in their first, and then as needed. And if so, there's an AMSR safety plan that's built into the platform as well. Then the timesheet tracker. So back to the timesheet tracker, there's where you're going to get your client hour information. So just, this one is for your own information, since we're not having to share that. So this kind of helps you keep on top of where the student is, because we want them to, when they're approaching graduation, which is going to come faster now that we're back to a 300-hour practicum, they need to get their clients transitioned to a new therapist, and they need to be doing the preparation for that several months out. We're encouraging you guys to have students talk to the client in the intake to say, hey, I'm a student. My practicum is going to be a year to 2 years, depending on if I'm part-time, full-time. So just so you know, at some point, you'll be moving on to work with someone else. So we want them to get that right at the beginning, and so that they know what the expectation will be, and be prepared for that, for a smooth transition. I encourage the students to do a co-therapy before, during the transition phase. Sometimes schedules won't allow for that, but that's basically what I do with them. So anyway, for you guys that are seasoned veterans, do you guys have any questions about this?
Nikki, the only thing I would wonder is the whole cross-cutting measures thing repaired now so that when they complete it, but that'll be with new clients. If there are old clients, that still may be
Yeah.
not as accurate as it
Yeah.
could be.
Right. I'm not saying it won't happen again, but what I'm saying was for some reason, one or two students got admin privileges and things got a little wonky with all the, so, you know, it should be, that's been addressed. And I think that shouldn't be a problem in the future. But again, we are talking about technology. So yeah, that shouldn't be a problem in the future. But yeah, so what else?
Nikki, I got a couple questions. One is, now we take this form here and do we send it to you, or we don't need to send it to you?
Yeah, Tony decided, because see, I'm a document hoarder. I like to keep everything, but he said, we don't really need to do that. Just you send it to me if you have some concerns that you want to let us know about. But no, you don't have to send that to me anymore. Just verify that it was done.
How do you verify? Just say, send you an email?
Yeah, just shoot me an email, say, hey, we've completed our monthly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
So
second question is, I had a couple students this past term.
Mhm.
And when does the new term begin? Has it already begun?
Yeah, Mike, I thought I sent that to you. And here's an exciting new thing is we are actually going to have a spring break this term. So yeah, I did send out the academic calendar, but let me make sure that you got that. I'll send
I'm
that again.
not that interested. I figured it's starting either Monday or
Starts Monday. Yeah.
All right. My
Yeah.
question is, I called each of my students that I had last term,
Uh-huh.
and I haven't heard back from them. I guess they should know that we started this coming Monday,
They
right?
should know, but yeah, I will send out an email to say, guys, because they've gotten their group supervision invitations and everyone has signed up. So this isn't new to them. But yeah, Mike, if they're not staying on top of it, that's not your job to chase them down. So yeah, they need to be getting that getting that squared away. You're
Okay.
they need to respect your time. Another thing is I believe yeah, so if you have, basically they're not supposed to have any absences in individual supervision. So what happens is if they have to miss, then you want to go ahead and schedule a makeup time for them. If you have a student that has less than 8 supervision sessions with you, let me know so that we can make sure that the student gets caught up. And, you know, they're welcome to join me and my associate supervision or, you know, some other way to get that made up. Of course, we prefer that they be an individual. But if you've got somebody who's had an absence and is having trouble making it up, you know, let me know and I'll help you out with that.
Okay.
They're busy little folks.
Oh, I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and by the way, I hope that you guys are all healthy. We've been required to do a COVID test before next week. And they actually had Park Duval was coming in to do all of our staff and faculty. And of course, the weather caused them to cancel. So I was fortunate enough to have an at-home test, but I hope you guys are staying healthy. People, you know, I've had all kinds of students, we've had all kinds of staff that have come down with COVID. So I hope you guys are well.
Good so far.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Yeah. So any other questions? Let me make a note to make sure that you've got the academic calendar. And I will also send a gentle nudge saying, you should have already scheduled your session for next week. So yeah, make sure to do that. But if you have issues with that, please do let me know. Tony is, I don't know if you guys know, Tony's in an expanded role in getting our Harrodsburg MFT program launched. So he's even busier than ever. So, you know, try to reach out to me if something comes up. And let's see here. All right, so reminder for individual and academic calendar.
And my name is Scott.
What else?
Nikki, I've nudged folks to do their student self-evaluation. And let's see, and then we need to do our supervision contract if I haven't done one with folks before. And how often do you update those, since individuals, with individual supervision, they stay with us unless there's a reason to make a change. And so how often do you want that updated?
Well, the self-assessment is done at the beginning and the end of the practicum to measure student learning outcomes. But I think we're going to have our faculty meeting Monday. We're looking at doing some sort of a monthly evaluation with students. I'll have to let you know more about that. Yeah, that's in the works.
Okay, and then with the supervision contract, since I've got one person that I'm continuing on with, so we have one in place.
Right.
How often do you want those updated? And then I'm good doing a new one with the new student.
Yeah, we shouldn't need to do one once you've done it until like when they start with the new supervisor, they would need to do a new one. So, but if there's any tweaking in the process that we can do, I'd love to hear your feedback on any improvements we can make. So, yeah. I'm sharing an office with somebody, so my apologies for the sound.
Oh, no,
I'm squatting at the East office instead of at Dixie or from home. So, yeah. Okay. Those are the big things that I had. If I miss anything, Tony will let me know. But yeah,
and then I should just go ahead and calendarize for every first Friday for this meeting.
Yes, first Friday of the month. Okay. Yes. Okay. Well, if that's all we've got, let's see, we've got attendance, we've got paperwork, academic calendar, reminders for individual supervision. And I'll go over the notes audit. Mary, if you can hang with me for a little bit longer, I'll be glad to kind of cover this with you.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Also this PowerPoint and recording from before. So yeah, if that's everything, let me know. Oh, pay requisitions. I will be sending those in Friday of next week, by Friday of next week. And that means they go in the first of the following week. So Lord willing, we'll get those to you. If you want them, most of them doing checks. If you want them direct deposited, we'll need to get some additional information from you. Now, Mary, have you, you're not charging, are you?
Nope.
You're a gem. You are, she's doing it for the cause. So
Yep.
You don't have to worry about a W-99 or whatever that is, W-9. But that's basically it. Yeah. Okay, so John, Judith, Mike, any other questions, anything else I can help you with?
So far, so good.
Perfect.
I'm good.
At the moment. Thank you.
Great. Perfect. Yeah, if you find that you're getting some folks that are sort of dragging their heels on things, I'm known as bad cop. Tony is good cop and I'm bad cop. So let bad cop know. Yeah. But once students get to know me, they know I'm not so bad. But but I am the one that chases them down for things. So very good. Okay, well, guys, you've got my cell number. Text or call me if anything comes up, and of course, email. But yeah, the term does start on Monday.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very
Thank
good.
ya.
Take care. Good to see you guys.
Good to see
Yeah,
you too.
okay.
All
Thank
right.
you. Bye now.
Bye.
So, Nikki, I don't think that, I think I've got everything figured out.
Uh-huh.
If I could share my screen real quick with you, because I
Absolutely.
have the time tracker that
Mm.
I believe is already set up.
Uh-huh.
Pardon me?
I don't think I'm allowed to share a screen.
Yeah, let me get that real quick here.